Maxim Vachier-Lagrave against Mitraba. But we have to follow the birthday boy, Hikaru Nakamura, turning 38 years old today, up against an international master with an incredible chesscom blitz rating of 3,033. International master Klukin with the white pieces against the birthday boy.
Yeah, I can remember Klukin having played in the top a lot of times in this Title Tuesday split, often against Hikaru, against Magnus. So he's a very strong player, someone to look out for. What we see here is a very classical NIMZO-INDIAN defense by Hikaru. So what he does here is that he gives away the bishop pair for quick development, and all of his pieces here are solid. What he's planning to do now is bring the bishop out to the long diagonal here, and long term, White wants to keep the bishops, try to open up for them and play for an open position, potentially also gain more control of the center, whereas Black wants to stay solid, attack the center, and start trading off pieces a little bit later on. Now it looks like Hikaru wants to attack the center here, potentially, with a pawn. That's a pretty typical idea. He does trade first. So now this is something to keep an eye on for Klukin. Hikaru does actually go for a pretty direct exploitation of this bishop being a bit exposed. So he was able to take a pawn here. And now we can see the position is still rather equal, maybe even a little bit better for White. And what this means is that White has, despite having sacrificed a pawn, White has very active pieces. This is a little bit clumsy for Hikaru, having to look after this knight, blocking this path for the bishop. And yeah, it's up to Klukin to try to do something direct and attack Hikaru while his development is slow. So at the moment, he has a lot of pieces still on the back rank, whereas Klukin has many pieces in good positions here and is only missing the rooks. There are some open files here, potentially. So yeah, I like the chances for Klukin until we see that.
Yeah, and
not
just
anymore.
When you say that,
yeah.
Is this a blunder?
I wouldn't say
mistake, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's like more of a missed chance or a mistake, because he probably had something good there to keep the pressure up on Hikaru. Then he didn't find it. He played this attack with a pawn, which didn't accomplish that much. Hikaru just went back with the knight, attacked the bishop, and actually gained some time now. So now he is going to try to get his pieces out quickly. The bishop can actually come here, attacking the queen, threatening the knight. And this is typically a situation where Black gets the pieces out quickly, can trade some pieces, and the danger is over. He's suddenly up a pawn, and yeah, Klukin even has this pawn in the center, which, if it's not being used for an attack, for example, by going forwards, it often becomes weak, because Hikaru has the queen and rook on this file looking towards it, and that's a long-term problem.
Kirill Klukin from Serbia. He's 25 years old, an international master who does very well in Title Tuesday in Game Week 6 in the autumn split. He scored 8 points. Wow. This is a tough opponent for Hikaru Nakamura, but Hikaru seems to be on fire today. He's been playing some really good chess. Even if we're only in round 3, he is better in this game.
Yeah, Klukin is a typical opponent who could have been very dangerous if he had found the correct moves there a couple of moves ago. But now Hikaru should be in control, and I don't think he's going to have very big problems converting this. That said, he is thinking for quite a while here, so obviously there is something that he is worried about.
He is almost 1 minute down on the clock. We are not used to seeing Hikaru Nakamura down on the clock, and the evaluation does not like his knight move.
Yeah, I think the problem is that maybe Klukin can push his pawn either now, or maybe he does something else first. But if he can do that and open up for all of his pieces, it can potentially become a little bit dangerous here, because this bishop, if it gets there, suddenly the rook is almost trapped, and there's a lot of things to think about. And this move is also very good because it attacks this rook. There isn't a very nice way of defending it, because you don't want to move it off this file. That's what he did. But now it's less active than it was on this open file. But Hikaru didn't want to move his pawn up. That would have weakened his position. So now Klukin is trying to get his knight into the game, potentially wants to go here into an even more active position. But I think the main thing that he's thinking about now is pushing this pawn. So the question is just, when is he going to do it? Maybe now he does go for it. Now he can recapture either with the knight or the bishop. He goes for the knight. This has a very deadly threat here. If he can give this check, he would also attack the queen. That would be game over, but Hikaru is obviously going to see that. But now there's a lot of tactical ideas here in this position. Can he even go here with the bishop? Because you can't take it. If you take it, there's a fork. And if you don't take it, there are a lot of pieces under attack. So, yeah, maybe that's a dangerous idea.
Klukin is now better. It looks like he's actually streaming. He has been speaking. I want to check which language. If I turn on his sound. Unfortunately, we don't have sound from Mr. Klukin. Hikaru, however, can we hear him?
I wonder if I should have played Rook E8. It's too slow. There's also Rook C1. This is actually not trivial. Need to be careful here.
Not trivial.
Having a sip of coffee. Hikaru Nakamura. It is his birthday. He is turning 38 today. He will be hoping to win Title Tuesday for the 108th time. He is by far a legend in Title Tuesday. No one has won it more than him. 107 times. He has 45 second places, 32 third places. He scored 11 out of 11 2 times, and that is what Hikaru will be going for today. Victory and 11 out of 11.
Yeah, and Klukin is taking a long think here. And he doesn't find the move. I would say taking a think in that position is justified because it's a very critical moment. But I think he had something a lot more direct. Maybe it was actually this bishop idea, which would have created a lot of threats. Now he has actually blundered because Hikaru finds a tactical idea here. Sacrificing the rook for the bishop, but this eliminates the defense that this bishop was giving to the knight in the center. And now Hikaru is just going to pick up that knight. So he has 2 minor pieces for the rook, which is pretty much always a good thing.
And on his way to 3 out of 3, Hikaru Nakamura. Is there any hope for Mr. Kirill Klukin in this game?
There is hope because at the moment he is threatening to take this knight in the center, which would lead to equal material. But I'm expecting Hikaru to find a defense against that. So yeah, I don't think there's a big chance for Klukin here, but he has to hope for a mistake from Hikaru here, which I don't think we'll see, unfortunately.
He's also under the minute on the clock. 50 seconds now for Klukin against Hikaru.
Yeah, so what we saw on the previous move was that Hikaru didn't actually defend the knight, but he brought the rook here so that there were back rank mate ideas. And Klukin goes here with a pawn to defend against that. So now there's a bishop here. Is there a fork in this position maybe? He doesn't actually go for that. Maybe he was afraid that his king would be too open. But this this is very surprising that he goes for, because now objectively it's not that bad for Klukin. He's down a pawn, but other than that, it's pretty equal. There's opposite colored bishops, which is known for being drawish, especially if Klukin can trade off the rooks.
Well, I asked if there was hope for Klukin. There definitely was hope for Klukin. The game is back to balance. Yeah,
the thing is, Hikaru is up on the clock, and I think that's probably why he went for this. He can play this on forever. He doesn't have to make any commitments. He can just go around with his rook and his bishop, maybe push a pawn at some point. There's just no way Klukin can finish the game in time unless he finds a trick, and this is going to be very hard.
Remember, there is no increment in Title Tuesday, and that means 21 second is trouble for Klukin, and it also looks like he's in trouble on the board. That eval bar is jumping up and down.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. Like, if this was a game with increment, it would be a very different story. Like, Klukin would have pretty decent chances of holding this to a draw, but now it's just not going to happen unless he can come up with something very special.
his clock is about to turn red, and Hikaru is massively better on the bar. Will we see another win for Hikaru Nakamura? Will it be on the board or will it be on the clock? Will we see flagging? Bar is back to balanced.
Wow, this is super exciting now because he actually does have, he had a pawn there for a minute, which could have become dangerous, but now it's just about the clock. Hikaru has to be faster, and Klukin is playing pretty fast. Now there's a bishop to think about here. Wow, Klukin is playing faster. He's actually, I wouldn't say outplaying Hikaru, but he's very fast, and now, oh,
who's this gonna be? 2 seconds, 1 second. Can Klukin make it? Will it be Hikaru? What's happening?
Hikaru wins.
For Hikaru Nakamura. He wins on the clock. Oh, look at that. Frustration from Klukin. He was close. He played incredibly fast. Mouse skills on Kirill Klukin, but it's not enough. Hikaru Nakamura takes it with